Good to see you. Oh, you match your car?
I'm excited to check this
I'm
house
so excited
out.
too.
It is gorgeous.
Wow. So this is like 45,000 square feet outside of my Zillow budget. Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, let's just take a moment. Look at this amazing chandelier. There's a mural up there. This is absolutely gorgeous.
I know. I can't wait to learn a little bit about this from you today because you started a side hustle some years ago, right? Where you actually build houses.
That's right.
In all of your free time. Yeah.
My side hustle is really my passion. You know, I love going into blank spaces and creating something new. Usually go in and I can see it before it's done, right? And when it's in my head, I feel like I have to get it out.
Have you ever built anything like this?
Well, not quite.
It's kind of amazing though, because it's kind of like Belle's castle, right? Like the Beauty and the Beast, but then there's cows outside.
I know. Who would have thought we would have found this?
Yeah, it's stunning. So what car did you drive in today?
So I drove a Maserati Quattroporte today, which was awesome.
I'm in one of my favorite cars I've ever been in because it's like a sedan, but incredibly sporty. It's the Mercedes-Benz GT. I absolutely love it. It's so fast and so sporty. You know, I don't know if you know this, probably not, but I've been partnering with Avondale. It's just one of the many perks of working on the radio for so many years. But I just love their fleet, you know, the offering, because, you know, for now I can try and get in some sexy, sporty cars. And then at some point I'm gonna need a little more of a mom mobile, but they have such amazing cars to choose from. So I'm so interested to learn about your career trajectory because I think that you've accomplished more than most women have in their lifetime already. How'd you get your start? With engineering? Is that what you did at first?
I did, but the funny thing is I'm a bit of an anomaly. I knew I wanted to be a patent attorney at 12. So I did electrical engineering in college, went straight to law school, and then after law school, I started at the law firm. At the time, no African-American associate had been promoted to partner.
Male or female?
Male or female.
Wow.
And I was the first one to get promoted to partner in 2014. I knew that I need to do something more than just sit at my desk and bill hours every day, and there was a bigger impact in staying at the firm and practicing law.
What would you say was one of the biggest challenges you had to overcome?
Getting comfortable with being the only one in the room. Yeah, and that has been my experience. I mean, during electrical engineering, no one necessarily looks like me in the classroom when I was going through that. But I got used to it and it helped me create a space where I could thrive. And I'm doing this so others behind me do not have to be the only one in the room anymore.
If you could, I know it's difficult, but let's say you were talking to the 12-year-old version of you and everything you now know that you had to go through, what would you say to the 12-year-old version of you?
I would tell myself to speak up earlier than I started speaking up. When I was younger, you know, I was the girl who was very polite. I was quite shy. I only spoke when spoken to. Now you see me talking all over the place. But I remember after like practicing for 4 years, my mentor told me, he's like, Christa, you need to talk up during meetings. And I had an experience where a summer associate, someone younger than me, noticed it too. And she asked me, she said, Christa, is it normal for associates not to speak during meetings? And that was like a light bulb moment, like, oh my goodness, I am shielding myself from being my authentic self at the office. And when I realized that, I kind of changed my course and really brought Christa to the table every day. And I think if I had started doing that earlier, what else could I have accomplished? So I tell everyone now, bring your authentic self every day, the first day.
It's great advice. I still remember my dad told me when I was graduating college and I still didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, he told me I was rudderless. And I was so upset by that because I thought, you know, he was different. He was how you were. He knew from a very young age what he wanted to do for a living. And I think you're almost in a more difficult position when you're in college and kind of going through experiences and you don't know exactly what you want to do. And I've always kind of lived my life in a way that I say, well, you got to try a lot of things, right? Like that's kind of advice I give to women when they're trying to heal from a breakup or just in general. I say, you kind of got to throw it all against the wall and see what sticks, you know? And so that's kind of how I took the approach in college. I did a lot of things. I mean, I knew I loved to talk, but I didn't know that that was going to land me on the radio. You know, I actually had applied to do some TV news reporting out of college, but every station that was going to hire me told me I had to cut all my hair off real short. But I always stayed really true to myself, you know, no matter what. And I thought, thought, well, I'll figure out another creative job that allows me to be more me, and I'm really glad it just happened to land me in a radio position, which was wonderfully authentic. I know you talk about that, because I was able to write my own content, be myself. I think when a lot of people meet people that are on the radio, they go, wow, like you sound the same. And I go, yeah, because most of us aren't. It's really hard to fake a personality, 5 days a week for over a decade. So sometimes you're an amplified version of yourself. But I'm really glad that I had that kind of career path myself, because I think doing all of those things kind of gave me the confidence that I never would have had to start a business. And, out of college or in my 20s, I wouldn't have had that discipline, having to get up at 3:30 or 4 a.m. every day all those years, and just kind of learn the ropes of how to manage people and situations. And so that really gave me confidence to start my own thing.
So now it's workout programs, it's skincare.
I don't like to work out that much. I don't like to work out that much anymore. No, it was just a way to test the market, and see if people were interested, because it was more about the lifestyle, right? It was about, working out a little bit and not feeling guilty, right? So it's always been for me about kind of conveying to women and men that balance is a good thing, that we're so inundated with health and fitness that this was about being fit-ish, right? So it was a real authentic part of my identity, and then it morphed into this topical skincare, and that was that. I think a woman that's in my stage of life, I'm just now kind of on the precipice of starting my own family. And I think looking at someone like you seem like Superwoman to me, because you have this successful career, this side hustle, 3 children at home. What kind of advice would you give someone like me who's at just a slightly earlier stage, and how to maybe balance it, or just the expectations I should have?
Yeah, so one thing I would say is it's not really a balance. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. And, when I first started practice, I was like juggling one ball, right? And I was just trying to keep that ball in the air. And now I have like 50 balls that I'm juggling, and it's not a balance, it's a juggle and trying to keep all the balls in the air. So I think if you learn to kind of get out of the space of trying to make it this balance equilibrium, because it never is, I think that helps your response when something happens, right? So I think that has really helped me to kind of manage what is okay, right? It doesn't have to be perfect.
Sometimes you don't know where your life's going to take you, like we've talked about. I never thought I'd end up on the radio with that kind of platform and have a business, and so you just kind of have to go in a direction that you feel compelled. And it's been amazing, because actually Avondale's been so supportive of me and my journey. I've been partnering with them for a while, and they were one of the first to know that I was leaving my radio show. I go, do y'all still want to work with me after I leave the radio show? Do I still have value, as a brand partner to you? And it was so amazing, because their response was like, of course, we love the platform you've created. We love that, you stand up for women. That's exactly what we want in a partnership out of you. And it's just been really amazing to carry that on. And our relationship has just turned into something so phenomenal. For me, getting to work with brands in general, there's really been nothing like Avondale for me, because they care so much about not just here, will you post a photo and promote the brand, but what else are you doing, in terms of philanthropy, for instance. They introduced me to other charities in Dallas, like New Friends, New Life, which I know you've been a part of as well, right?
Yes, and when I saw that intersection with Avondale and New Friends, New Life, I just got really excited, because I'm on the board now for New Friends, but I started volunteering there 11 years ago. And I got introduced to New Friends, New Life through the Junior League of Dallas, where I started as an active member in the Junior League in 2006. And now in my 15th year, I'm president of the Junior League of Dallas, which is amazing.
Wow.
So it's really fun to be able to impact not just the business world, but the community, right?
Yep.
In a different way, and to create an opportunity for all people to participate in different avenues of life.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot today.
Yeah.
Our own and others too.
Well, I'd love to get your perspective on building a home for myself.
You got that, Jenna. You're gonna be my next client, I think. Let's get out of here. Maybe we can find some other ideas in here.
This has been great. Let's do it.